Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. So we want to start in the larger time frame just briefly, just to outline the structure of the larger time frame, the bigger picture. Here we can still watch for a wave 4 correction that could be unfolding right now still, but I'm tracking a possible wave 4 as complete. That's very similar. The situation is essentially similar to the Bitcoin chart, right? Where we can say, okay, maybe wave 4 bottomed. Here it actually looks a little bit clearer in terms of that wave 4 has already bottomed on the 5th of August. And then we're moving up in wave 5 to a new all-time high. But it's also possible, if we cannot hold the August low, that wave 4 is still unfolding. That would mean any lower low below the August low would simply be seen as a larger wave 4 correction. This, however, would have some implications because we would break out of the channel to the downside, which is never great. So that would indicate weakness. So I just want to say that below the August low, also a more bearish scenario will become more likely actually. In this case, we are developing a diagonal pattern to the downside as per the blue scenario. It would be just a diagonal pattern, so it's not clearly bearish, but it would increase the odds, the probabilities for this bearish scenario. So it means as long as we're holding that $109.50 level, which is the August low, the direct pathway to the upside has a chance, but it requires proving. A really good indication that we're moving up would be a break out of this corrective price channel here to the upside. So we would need a turnaround from where we are at the moment, a breakout above the channel, ideally a retest, and then we can go from there, right? That is what the price ideally would do. And then we can head to new all-time highs. At the moment, we're obviously not in all-time high territory yet, but the price could do that. The move down is not impulsive, so I'm not clearly favoring bearish scenarios just yet, purely because of price action and how it's behaving. But obviously this correction is getting quite protracted, which is not necessarily a surprise after that long rally. And if we consider the length of the wave 2, typically a wave 2 and a wave 4, they have similar length. So just taking a rectangle pattern here, form here, and just taking the length of that wave 2 duration, and we compare it with the wave 4, well, it's the same length. It's the same length. So maybe it's bottomed, maybe not quite, but that's, there's at the moment nothing unusual happening there. Okay, it's just a healthy wave 4 that we're developing. I would just get more cautious with a break below the August low, and then we have to watch these support levels. And anyway, a 1-2 setup to the upside will be required to indicate that, yep, we're heading for new highs, because this correction at the moment is still continuing. There's no evidence the correction is finished. There is a micro 1-2 setup we're tracking on the smaller time frame, which gives us some parameters, but I still want to see an upside breakout for further confirmation that the bulls are taking the lead. So let's take a look at the smaller time frame. Here we have a possible 1-2 setup, which is still developing, pretty much running for 3 to 4 weeks now. Started on the 5th of August, wave 1 to the upside. This wave 2 is again very messy, protracted, extended, but we're holding support. This is the support region. There's a good reward to risk ratio for a third wave rally to the upside, and it would require minimally a small 5-wave move up from the lows here to indicate that a low has formed in this wave 2 on the smaller time frame. But as you can see, there's nothing there. Yesterday I highlighted to you that most likely we're going to see another low. I wanted to see another low that happened in this wave 5 of C of 2. It's following quite nicely now the microstructures that are proposed, but there hasn't been a reversal signal. So at the moment, yep, we've reacted to the 50% retracement, but there isn't yet that upside signal yet. So what would we need to see? Before we talk about that, quick reminder, today I'm going to send out the weekly newsletter. So if you are interested in getting some crypto updates, general market updates, all sorts of stuff, also about mindset, you can register for free. The link is in the description, or you go to our website, mcoglobal.com/newsletter. You can register there. You just need to do it before I send it out later today, probably in a few hours. Yeah, that's coming out pretty much every week, nearly every week. Okay, so what do we need to see to confirm that wave 2 has bottomed here? At the moment, it's speculative. Yep, the wave count to the downside, you could even call it complete, but it isn't necessarily complete. Yeah? So structurally, it is complete. Minimum requirements to the downside are fulfilled, but there is no low in place until the market gives us a certain structure, and that would be a 5-wave move up followed by a 3-wave pullback on the smaller time frame. Because we're dealing with a very small time frame here, it's typically useful to watch for additional signals, like for example maybe even some volume, a break above certain key levels, and yeah, a break above resistance really. So how would that look like? So what we need to see is a break above the yellow line. That would be around $162. And if I zoom in a little bit further, I would want to see a first 5-wave move. I mean, not entirely sure what this is, just too small to be reliable, but it could be an initial 1, 2, that's too small. We need wave 3, 4, 5, ideally with a break above this last swing high at $147.50. So that would be a first indication we've bottomed. Then we add the 3-wave pullback support zone. If it's holding that and breaking above this high, then the low is likely in. We would still need to see a break above this high, so the yellow line essentially, to confirm it further. But it's all, probabilities are dynamic, and it's all about getting more and more confidence that a low is formed with every move. And how much confidence you need as a trader, well, that depends on your own risk profile, right? But essentially these are the things that I'm watching for. For now, the local downtrend is still unfolding. As you can see, we're still printing lower lows and lower highs without any evidence that a low has formed. But I'm watching for it, that a reversal happens, because the downside wave count is technically complete. That, as I said, however, doesn't mean that a low is in. There is always only a low with a 5-wave rally above resistance and a 3-wave pullback. Until then, everything remains very speculative and isn't proving. So the follow through to the upside requires proving. And at the moment, I'm just watching for the potential that we're turning around, but the bulls need to turn up, right? So any potential isn't worth anything until really the bulls turn up, because they're, we need that buying power. Okay, so that's essentially what I'm watching. What you could also do, let me just double check that before we finish the video. Can we actually draw a trend line here? Maybe, not really. I don't see any, no, because you don't really get the touch points. Nah, it doesn't really look, maybe you could have it, but I don't trust that one. It's quite steep as well. But yeah, there's a trend line as well that we might want to watch. Okay, that's the update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.